Hello my friends, let's go straight to the main hotspot, which is the Soledar town. And as you can see, Russia is still attacking this city from 3 directions: from the north, from the eastern part, and also from the south. But we know that they also push from this part because they were able to cross the river. So this update was for the last night, and according to the current situation, from the information that I have, Russia already crossed the supply road that leads to Davydov and nearby village. So no more normal supply line for Ukrainian forces. However, still there could be some of the supplies through the ground, through the fields, because the temperature went down below zero and the soil now can withstand the weight of the armored vehicles and even tanks. So Ukraine may send some of their supplies to that area. It's very risky because Russia may fire their artillery and tanks, destroying the supplies. And that's why I think that it's time to get away from this area, because there are some of the forces still in Soledar, Ukrainian forces, but from what I know, they don't have the proper communication with the headquarters and they don't have vehicles to evacuate. And we're gonna see the article of CNN. They were in that area in Soledar and left it, but they got the contacts with the soldiers who are still in Soledar. It's very complicated to get the current information of what is happening in Soledar, because our Ukrainian officials, they say one picture that our brave soldiers are fighting there, everything is okay with them, and Russia say that they already took all of the city, which is fake. So the truth is in the middle. Our forces are still in Soledar, but they are struggling and they try to evacuate from that area. They try to retreat, unsuccessful because they were met with the heavy fire from the Russian side and they decided to return back. They've got almost no food, and we're gonna read about it in the CNN article, which I think is true because it's the Western media, and I believe that they got the contact of Ukrainian soldiers who are now in that area because they were together before. And from what I see, there could be just 2 scenarios in Soledar. One, that our forces just changed the position to the nearby city successfully, and the worst case scenario is then Russia would encircle this area, and they already say that they done it, but no, it's fake. They were not able to do it, and our guys say that they have some ammunitions, but it's very difficult to fight there. So I think it's time, it's already late, I would say, to evacuate them, but it should be done. So I don't know who was particularly in charge of the defense of Soledar city, but it was done kind of wrong because we got some of the losses according to the videos that I see being published from the Russian side, and I can admit that the losses were in Soledar. Ukraine sent some of the reinforcements to that area, but it was around 5-6 days ago. It was too late. Russia actually was in the city suburbs, and there was nothing that they could do in that area. They already secured their positions around the Soledar, and seeing this map, my friends, so how would you defend the city? Then Russia is almost encircle it and already cut supply lines. Unfortunately, they will take this city. It would be a miracle for Ukrainian forces to withstand Soledar, and I don't believe in that scenario after I read the CNN article about the soldier who is still there, and let's go to it. So it is not the Russian propaganda media or something like that, and you know, my friends, sometimes I get the comments, oh Dennis, you say something wrong, that Ukraine is retreating, that Ukraine has losses. My friends, I show to you it like it is. The war is like that. Ukraine has losses, Russia has many more losses because they're on attacking side, but we take care about our soldiers. And for me, I'm quite sad reading those articles because I understand that the defense operation from Ukrainian side wasn't conducted properly. So Ukrainian soldier in Soledar describes the situation: we are just abandoned. He said it was published 1 hour and 30 minutes ago. They call him this evening, and this is the most current information that you may get. We try to withdraw ourselves, but Russians are already there. If there is no order to withdraw today, we will most likely not have time to leave. It means that Russia sends more reinforcements, and probably they're gonna encircle the Soledar city with our forces in. He said that we were told we would be withdrawn, and now we just abandoned. So someone told them, maybe command, that it will take you out, but now they lost the communication with the headquarters headquarters with a general command, whatever, and now they just were left in a city with no supplies, nothing. They just have some of the ammunition, he says in the article, but almost no food. The last evacuation, he said, was 3 days ago. I believe that by that time Ukrainian command decided to leave the forces to fight in Soledar, and as I told you, they evacuated the major forces from that region, and those soldiers were left there to secure the perimeter for evacuation, and now they need evacuation themselves. He said that they hold as long as they can, but anyone can get tired and hit the limit eventually. It is impossible to hold just on a high morale for such a long time, especially when you was abandoned by your command in that case. And in the same article, you can see that Russian Wagner claimed that they captured already the Soledar city, and Ukraine claimed that they sent the 46th Air Mobile Brigade to counterattack and probably get our guys back from the town, or maybe even capture the territory. But this information has not yet been confirmed, and our guys are still there fighting, holding, but it's very complicated life for them in Soledar. I tell you as it is from the information that I got, and the reality is like that. It's not bright. Obviously, I would not like it to happen in Soledar, and again, I think the defense of the Soledar was poorly conducted, well, say compared to Bakhmut or something. The strike of the Russian Wagner forces was very strong, very rapid, and they took the ground in a few days and now almost encircled the Soledar city. Yes, they got severe losses, but I think from Ukrainian side it should be done much better, because every life of our soldier matters. They should not have been just abandoned in Soledar, so it's bad. And this is the satellite image of the city. Russia started to gain control over it from the railway station around 4 days ago, and now they're on the north part of it. So this is the north part, and this is the south. I showed you yesterday that they've took all of this factory under their control and all of this area. So the only road that supplies Soledar is over here, and they've already took this crossroad. They showed it in their videos, and they probably took the hospital over there, but yet the central part of the city is under control by the Ukrainian forces. And if we move to the western side here, this area is under control by Ukrainian forces as well. So there's one more railway station. And here's the big building where we have our snipers. So yesterday, Russian Wagner soldiers say that they do afraid to go further to the west because there is the sniper fire and also some of their tanks, maybe from Ukrainian side as well. So basically, they are controlling this crossroad, cutting the supplies from that area. But anyways, Ukrainian soldiers may go across the fields to their positions, and it's very complicated since you can see it's the open field territory mostly. Well, there are some sort of the forests over there, but not significant, and still there could be under the Russian fire. And as they say to CNN, they tried to do it, but unsuccessfully. So it's the big drama with our soldiers still trapped, I would say, in the central part of the city, and it's very complicated. This information comes from the Russian sites, from the correspondents who are in Soledar. I would say they're volunteer reporters, and what they say that it's total madness. The announcement of the Wagner group that they took Soledar happened before the capture in the city, and that is why they need to capture it right now, and they sent all of their forces, and that is why they have severe losses in Soledar. There is no more prize for this question to be solved, they say. If they would not capture the Soledar, theoretically there is the possibility the Ministry of the Russian Defense will use it against Prigozhin. At the same time, I saw that Prigozhin left the area and flown to some sort of the city in the Russian Federation. It happened very rapidly. One more post, Wagner soldiers have to cross the river, and that position is under the constant fire by the Ukrainian forces. Drones are always in the skies, artillery is working, they drop the bombs from the drones as well. There is no place to hide, and if the soldiers would get wounded in that weather conditions, there are almost no chances to survive, and there are lots of the bodies on the way, and the situation there is terrible, as you can see, for Wagner as well. At the same time, Pentagon officially said that Russians were not able to take the control over all of the Soledar town, and the fighting continues. So basically, yes, Prigozhin lied to the Russian society that they've took Soledar, and if they lose this town, my friends, there will be consequences for Prigozhin himself. Or probably there would be no any consequences because it's Russia after all, but they have the conflict between the Russian regular army and Wagner. It's 100%. Ukraine is getting ready for the possible attack on the north side of our country from the Belarusian territory by the joint forces of Russia and Belarus. So we're constantly building the trenches and other defense lines. Also, beavers help a lot. They are very active this year because there are no any tourists, no any hunters, and they were able to block some of the rivers, creating more swamps in that area. So one more natural ally of Ukraine. And also we got the reports that every day Russia sends some of the reinforcements to the Belarusian territory. They already sent lots of the air defense systems and increased the number of their soldiers from 4,000 up to 20,000. And they plan to send the mobilized soldiers there as well. But still, for now, they have not enough forces to capture the vast territories on the north side of Ukraine, not speaking about the Kiev city. But Ukraine have to put the part of its army on the northern side because still there is the possibility for them to intervene. And that's why we need more weapons from our Western allies. It's good that we'll have tanks, Leopards, maybe Challenger 2, and tomorrow probably I'm gonna publish the video about the Leopard tank review. The analytics from the Institute of the War Researchers say that Russia is running out of the artillery shells and they are not capable to continue the tempo of their attacks in 2023. They have already wasted the most part of their reserves, and the current production of the ammunition shells for the artillery is not enough to cover the needs of the Russian army. So if they don't put their economy on the rails of war fully, they will not achieve any victory in this conflict. But I think that they will not do it. They will just announce one more mobilization to cover the deficit of the ammunition shells with people, with cannon fodder. My friends, press the like button if you want to support this channel, and also if you want to do it financially, you may go to the video description below and support me on Patreon, PayPal or Donatella, whichever is more convenient for you. Thank you so much for your help. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.